The story begins in Kenya, where a helicopter unexpectedly crashes, startling people who quickly flee in panic. A team of American soldiers arrives to help the locals evacuate. As they position themselves to find out who caused the attack, suddenly, two soldiers disappear, leaving everyone in shock. The group reacts by firing at an invisible enemy, but when the leader turns around, he witnesses an explosion that throws him into the air and leaves him unconscious. After some time, the soldier wakes up in a prison cell, completely disoriented. He cannot remember where he is, how he got there, or even his own name. His arm is seriously injured, adding to his confusion. The police station appears to be in ruins, with power flickering on and off. Desperate for answers, he looks around and notices a loose brick in the wall. Curiosity leads him to remove it and peek outside, only to see an aircraft crashing and chaos unfolding in the area. He starts shouting for help, but a prisoner in the neighboring cell warns that making noise could be deadly. This prisoner introduces herself as Nadia, a French doctor who had been working in a humanitarian aid hospital for a little over 2 years. Noises from banging outside shake the building, and sparks fly from outlets. Nadia explains that the entire planet has been invaded by machine-like aliens. Terrified, the man begins shouting for help through the hole again, ignoring Nadia's warnings. Unfortunately, she is right, and soon a group of men enters the police station, clearly looking for trouble. They kill the hostage they brought, and then remember there is a special reward for capturing Americans. Nadia cannot understand what they are saying, but the American reveals he can speak their language and attempts to negotiate. However, the men just laugh and decide to let him go. The soldier immediately starts fighting with the group leader, exchanging blows until they both tumble out the window. Meanwhile, the other two thugs enter Nadia's cell, but she quickly defends herself with a glass shard and takes the assailant's gun, shooting in self-defense. The second thug proves to be a tougher opponent, pushing her against the wall, but Nadia spots another loose brick and uses it to strike him. She then seizes his weapon and kills him as well. Simultaneously, outside, the American soldier is confronted but grabs a gun and shoots the enemy. Another thug approaches with a taser, but to the soldier's surprise, he manages to grab it and redirect the electric shock, electrocuting the enemy. As he tries to comprehend this newfound ability, he notices the alien robots approaching. These robots cause the previous banging noise, and their immense size is terrifying. In the midst of the panic, the American soldier seeks refuge inside a wrecked car, but the robot still scans him from a distance. However, it eventually leaves without taking any action. Afterward, the American soldier returns to find Nadia, who notices the word "Bao" on his sleeve and decides to call him that. They collect some weapons from the thugs, and she tends to his arm wound before leaving the station, encountering more bodies along the way. Bo wants to go to the American Army base, but Nadia believes it is futile. She thinks everyone there is likely dead, and that they cannot call for help because all the satellites fell from the sky 8 days ago. Traveling alone on the road seems very dangerous to Nadia, but Bo is determined to act and fight. Eventually, Nadia agrees to accompany him. They gather all the water and food they can find, trying to ignore the bodies scattered around them, and set off in a stolen car. Bo occasionally experiences flashes of memory of a fight in his mind, but they make little sense to him. As they drive down the road, Nadia reveals she can fight because she used to be an army doctor and received some training. Suddenly, bullets pierce through the car window, forcing them to stop. They realize they are surrounded by Kenyan soldiers. Nadia tries to negotiate, claiming she is a doctor seeking passage, with Bo as her escort. While they argue, one of the soldiers notices Bo's circular tattoo and becomes alarmed, stating they are from the dish. Taking advantage of the distraction, Bo captures the soldier and seizes his weapon, using it to shoot a few soldiers before demanding answers about his tattoo. A soldier explains there is a heavily guarded American radar station near the west border with the same symbol. He also reveals they attacked Bo and Nadia because it is believed that the American radar stations caused the drone invasion, as they are the only structures still standing. Another soldier attempts to attack Bo, but he defends himself without shooting, while another flash of memory distracts him. Then, Bo and Nadia take the soldier's jeep and head back to the road to locate the radar station. Bo removes his bandage and notices that his wound resembles an arrow pointing toward the dish, suggesting that heading to the station is the right move. Shortly afterwards, they encounter a danger sign in front of a town, with no other road options available. As they drive through the town, they find the road strewn with loose electric cables, posing a significant hazard. Trapped between the electric cables and a robot appearing behind them, they have no choice but to drive through the dangerous obstacle while the robot gives chase and opens fire. Unfortunately, the Jeep becomes unusable due to damage. Abandoning the vehicle, they escape on foot and hide behind some debris. However, this distraction causes the robot to target a man and his daughter. Tragically, the robot kills the man mercilessly. Nadia shoots to save the girl, but when the robot turns towards them, it inexplicably spares them. Despite this, the robot proceeds to kill the girl and departs. As night falls, the duo sets up camp, and Nadia reveals that her family perished during the alien attack. Then, a fleet of fighter jets flies overhead, bringing relief to Bo as he sees that people are still fighting. The next morning, they resume their journey on foot, traversing many miles. Along the way, they encounter beautiful natural scenery, but also witness vast destruction and come across numerous bodies. Finally, they hear a sound that resembles English, almost like a voice. Following it, they find a recording that the locals used as a trap. Soon after, they find themselves surrounded and captured. They are taken to a ruined building where they are chained to a wrecked car. As they await their fate, two people pass by on motorcycles, followed by a robot. Bo realizes the locals are using them as bait to lure and hunt the robots. As the robots draw near, the hunters activate a mine that explodes beneath one of the robots, followed by a barrage of gunfire. Surprisingly, the robot remains undamaged. The hunters throw a chain around it, finally knocking it down with an electrical surge. However, more robots arrive quickly and unleash a deadly volley of fire, decimating most of the hunters within seconds. Amidst the chaos, Bo finds a painful method to free himself and liberates Nadia from their chains. They quickly seek cover as the bikers depart, drawing the attention of the pursuing robots. Once the coast is clear, Bo and Nadia cautiously return to the road. While crossing a bridge, Bo almost opens fire when he sees a light, but realizes it is a photojournalist named Stander with his camera. Stander has documented the aliens' arrival, witnessing people being taken away by spaceships and getting injured in the process. Despite his injuries, Stander shares his photographs with Bo and Nadia, revealing evidence of the aliens using Earth's electrical power and capturing a powerful image of a child confronting a robot with a rock. Suddenly, they hear an explosion nearby. Although Stander resigns himself to his fate, Bo and Nadia insist on rescuing him. They find shelter in a building where Stander notices Bo's tattoo and recognizes it from a picture of the radar station. He proposes a deal. He will give them the camera if they end his suffering. Bo, haunted by memories of someone's death, refuses to kill an innocent. In desperation, Stander begins attracting the robot's attention by yelling and throwing objects. With no other option left, Nadia reluctantly chokes Stander to death to prevent the robots from finding them. After their ordeal, the duo resumes their journey along the road, using the photographs as guides to find the most direct route to the radar station. Despite walking for miles, Bo continues to experience rapid flashes of memories, though they offer little clarity. Upon reaching another deserted town, their camera's battery dies, prompting them to steal another car to press onward. Hours later, while driving down the road, they hear strange noises emanating from the car radio. Intrigued, they stop to investigate and discover a destroyed robot nearby. While relieved to see that the robots can be defeated, Bo remains curious about their vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Suddenly, they hear a loud stomping sound and notice smoke nearby, prompting them to quickly jump back into the car to escape. Hundreds of robots emerge behind them, relentlessly chasing them and firing bombs. In a desperate attempt to evade capture, the duo abandons the car and seeks refuge inside a nearby house. They descend into the basement and huddle together in fear, sharing a moment of intimacy. The ceiling begins to lift, revealing an alien ship above them, sucking them inside. Within moments, Bo is unexpectedly dropped to the ground while Nadia is whisked away by the spaceship. Later, when Bo regains consciousness, he realizes his leg is injured. After clearing debris from the wound, he understands he must continue his journey alone. Despite feeling weak due to his leg's condition, he presses on until he finally reaches the radar station. However, his hope is shattered as he discovers that the aliens have ravaged everything, including the dish. Noticing fresh graffiti on the walls, Bo decides to locate the people responsible. He arrives at another town where he encounters people fleeing from pursuing robots. To his surprise, this group possesses a special device, enabling them to counter the robots. Two different model robots then confront him, scanning him, but ultimately leaving without harm. This triggers memories in Bo's mind, recalling a moment when he shot a rocket at a robot, resulting in serious injury to a teammate. Forced to end his teammate's suffering, the sudden recollection overwhelms Bo, causing him to lose consciousness once more. After regaining consciousness, Bo finds himself rescued by the locals and taken to a shelter. A doctor tends to his leg injury, and Bo meets his rescuers, Kara and Juma. He recounts his story to them. Juma sadly explains that Nadia won't return, as the ships never bring back the people they take. Kara questions why the aliens took Nadia, but left Bo behind. Seeking answers, they introduce Bo to an engineer named Roderick, who has developed EMP devices capable of disabling the robots, and is now working on a larger one. His ambitious plan involves detonating this device directly beneath the alien spaceship, hoping to disrupt their system and eliminate all the robots simultaneously. However, they have struggled to approach the ship because it only appears when surrounded by a large crowd of robots. Suddenly, Roderick receives a message from the guards outside, alerting them to hundreds of approaching robots. Juma wonders if they were tracked, and Roderick's sketches of the aliens prompt an important memory in Bo. He remembers the day a robot grabbed him, inserted cables into his mouth, and implanted a tracker in his spine. Before he lost consciousness, Bo marked the arrow on his arm. Since then, robots have been following him to discover more humans and hiding places. Kara reacts with immediate suspicion, threatening to kill Bo to safeguard her people. However, Bo proposes a different plan: to use himself as bait to draw the ship and activate Roderick's device. The group swiftly devises a plan to identify the ship's typical abduction sites. As they prepare, Bo believes she sees Nadia again, but discovers it is a woman who looks just like her. Armed and prepared, the team cautiously navigates a tunnel, bringing the device to safety in the city center. Tragically, upon emerging, they accidentally trigger a hidden bomb, resulting in the deaths of several team members. Spotting the spaceship flying in the opposite direction, they retreat into the tunnel to pursue it, only to face a large robot firing upon them. 2 more members fall victim to the robot's assault, though its size prevents it from pursuing them further. Continuing through the tunnel, they encounter smaller robots that immediately open fire, injuring Kara in the process. The team retaliates, successfully eliminating the robots, but they hear more approaching. In a selfless act, Kara volunteers to stay behind with grenades to buy the team time to escape. As the group flees with the device, Kara sacrifices herself by detonating the grenades, thwarting the advancing robots with a massive explosion. Meanwhile, in the shelter, Juma and a doctor are aiding people in evacuating, but smaller drones infiltrate the area. Tragically, the doctor loses his life, but Juma manages to escape back to his people. As they accelerate the evacuation process, they realize the robots are breaching the shelter through the vents. Prepared to defend themselves, they gear up for battle. When the robots emerge, the locals swiftly surround and attack them relentlessly. Meanwhile, Bo and the team encounter a group of robots herding people toward the incoming spaceship. Knowing he won't be attacked, Bo throws one of Roderick's electromagnetic pulse grenades, destroying a robot and allowing the people to escape. However, the robots pursue them, opening fire and damaging Roderick's EMP device in the process. As Roderick struggles to repair the damaged EMP device, Bo recalls a picture and hurls a rock at the robots to divert their attention. However, the robots quickly return to attacking people, prompting Bo to remember the tracker's reaction to the robot's electrical power. In a bold move, he touches the fallen robot with one hand, and the device with the other, transferring power. Despite experiencing intense pain, this act successfully energizes the device. After a massive EMP blast, all robots in the area, including those in the bunker, were quickly incapacitated. As the energy spread throughout the area, the spaceship began to plummet and eventually crashed to the ground, causing a massive explosion. With the war against the aliens seemingly over, people around them rejoice. The movie concludes with Roderick checking on Bo, who is gradually regaining his memories. However, he chooses to keep the name Bo as the dust settles. It becomes clear that the conflict against the aliens has finally ended.